What is going on, everybody? It is Erock here, bringing you guys a brand new video. Hope you guys are all having a great day today. Today's video, we are going to be going over the patch notes for the Season 4 The Old Ways event. If you want to follow along, the article is going to be the first link in the Dropbox down below. If you enjoy this video, enjoy the content, make sure you are following and subscribing on the way out. And if you are interested in the Twitch streams, also going to be in the description box down below. So let's get into it. So starting April 7th, duos will be added to the game alongside trios, as well as a permanent map rotation that gives the players the ability to play both on King's Canyon or World's Edge. Since the launch of Apex Legends, they've introduced duos a few times as an LTM. Overall, it's had a positive effect on the game's health, so they added it to the queue full time. Now, what about solos? They've introduced solos as an LTM earlier last year, but they ultimately saw a negative impact on the game. So at this moment, they are not going to be adding solos to this game. They said it's just not working and it's having a negative effect on the game overall. So instead, they introduced duos. They also said that they know that players want to experience map variety, which is why they are bringing King's Canyon back as a permanent time mode as well. They want to keep queue times as short as possible, which is why they decided to go with a rotation versus selection, and they believe the selection could have a negative effect on queue times across the world. They'll be keeping the maps on a fairly quick rotation and tweaking it as they study the data for it and listen to our feedback. As far as the new town takeover Bloodhounds Trials, dive into Bloodhounds Trials, where you and your squad will battle against a horde of prowlers and claim high tier loot as your reward. So definitely be on the lookout for this new town takeover. Let me know if you guys think this town takeover is cool and everything. But yeah, so next we're going to talk about balance changes when it comes to guns and one particular legend that got a buff. The Scout Rifle has a reduced headshot scale from 2 to 1.7, reduced the leg shot scale, and slightly reduced the projectile speed. The L-Star will reset its view kick pattern much more quickly to avoid a horizontal recoil, basically giving this a buff. And it also reduced the time before it overheats. The Kraber has increased headshot damage multiplier from 2.05 to 3. Now it should always down a target with a headshot no matter what, even if they are fortified with a level 3 helmet or Evo Shield. Sniper ammo as a whole has reduced ammo pickup from 10 to 8, and they reduced the inventory stack from 20 to 16, and they have categorized as low profile. Limb shots on low profile legends now deal as much damage as body shot. As far as the legend that did receive a buff, there's actually 2 that received a buff, but the more important one in this scenario is Revenant. Players feedback that Revenant wasn't feeling viable enough to be basically showcased in the game as much. So what they did is on its silence, they increased duration of the status effect from 10 seconds to 20 seconds. A silence now disables Gibraltar's gun shield. It increased the duration of the effect, the area of effect, from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. And the silence has 2 charges now. And as far as the death totem, characters are now respawned with 50 health instead of 1, or whatever health they had when they activated it if lower. So those are huge buffs to Revenant. We may be seeing more Revenant players now in the scene, which is great for it. He's a badass character. Didn't see much of him running around, but hopefully this will help seeing his life around more. The Lifeline has a new secondary passive. Lifeline can now access secret compartments with more loot on blue bins. Yes, you did hear blue bins. These were now put into the game. They're basically like rare bins to get higher tier loot on the map. They're surrounded all over the map just like normal ones. There's just blue ones now, and the Lifeline can now access more compartments to these bins. The secondary compartment will always contain some sort of mixture of health items, weapon attachments, and knockdown shields. Finally, we see an update to Wraith. Portals will now disappear after 4 seconds if both ends are outside of the circle. This change was made to combat players from exploiting the portal to avoid taking damage outside the ring. This is a huge thing when it comes to ranked games. I'm interested to see how this will play out endgame in zones, but let me know what you guys think about it down below as well. The Evo Shield has received some sort of a buff where it reduces the amounts of damage required to evolve. Blue armor goes down from 100 to 75. Purple armor goes down 300 to 150, and red armor goes down from 500 to 400. Now you can definitely see me picking up Evo Shields more. I tend to do a decent amount of damage in games, so the fact that I can get red armor quicker now, definitely going to be picking that up. I think you guys should too as well, especially if you like to play aggressive and get a lot of damage done in these games. Kings Canyon and Kings Canyon After Dark, they increased the total amount of loot items that spawn in the map. I know this was a huge debate when it came to Kings Canyon. The loot was just not as good as it was on World's Edge, and I'm really super pumped to see that they've actually increased the loot at Kings Canyon now. It's going to make the map seem a little bit better off spawn and everything, so I think that's a huge improvement to it. And then lastly, they just listed a bunch of bug fixes and quality of life changes. I'm not going to go over and read all of them, but like I said in the beginning of the video, if you are interested in looking at this article yourself, you can read all of them. Overall, I think this is a positive update to this game, adding more bins, adding another POI, updating some legends that needed it, and even updating a couple weapons that really needed it. I think the L-Star did, and it's going to be cool to see how Krabers work now with a 3x headshot multiplier. But yeah, I'm pumped about this update. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. Like I said in the beginning of this video, if you found it interesting or anything like that, subscribe, consider liking, all those cool things. Twitch link in the description if you're interested in watching those streams as well. And as always, thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you in the next one.